Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector, and good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's really early, and I wanted to get up and do a quick video. I've got a golf tournament I got to go to here in a little bit, so I won't be around most of the day, but I wanted to give a couple things, show something that I got in the mail that is incredibly nostalgic for me, and give an update real quick on where we're at on the Hall of Fame voting. So the item that I want to show is incredibly interesting. So you guys may not know this, but the National used to be kind of a traveling show. I mean, it used to be held in Anaheim and in California and kind of all over. It was held back in the day before they started going on the rotation now, where it's, Chicago, AC, and Cleveland is kind of the rotation they're on now. And most likely will be, sad to say, in perpetuity, because people ask all the time, why did the National go to the West Coast or the Midwest or the South or anything like that? And it's because they have these long-term contracts. They got to plan out and get ahead, and that's kind of just the way it is. And that's, it is. I'd love it to move, but whatever. None of us are going to change that. So, but back in the day when it was moving around, there was a year that it was here in North Texas. It was actually held in Arlington at the Arlington Convention Center in 1990. And that was my first National that I ever went to, all the way back in 1990. And so I got this awesome program from the National. And what's funny is the idea that I got for it, when I saw it, was on Jeremy IPTTM is his channel. He did a video where he got one in a, I don't know, I guess it was like I can't remember where he got it. Doesn't matter. He got one. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I need to get one of those. And he typed back on the comment, hey, it's yours. And I was like, thought to myself, I don't really want to, he got it. I can find one. And sure enough, I did. I bought one on eBay right here. But no kidding around, just like the next day or after I got this one, I got this one from Jeremy. So I now have two, which is great. I really don't mind having two. I love it. And so going through it, it's just incredibly nostalgic to look at the different articles that are in there, the advertisements that are in there. It's fascinating to look back. And I was a 16-year-old kid at that National, and I remember it having an indelible impact on my hobby life going forward. And so to have a piece of that, just in terms of the program, is pretty special, actually. I'm glad to own it. Excuse me. I'm glad to own two of them. And Jeremy, thanks so much, man. I don't even know how you got my address, but I appreciate it, and I'm glad to own two of them. Really thoughtful of you, seriously, to do that. So, well done, sir. All right, let's get to the YouTube Hall of Fame stuff real quick. The votes have been coming in pretty steady. We are at, look here, got the spreadsheet right here on my computer. 29 ballots so far have come in, which honestly I'm surprised. Voting's only been open 3 or 4 days or whatever, and I'm surprised we have that many ballots. I think we'll have, I wish I knew. I don't know how many ballots we're going to end up having. We'll see. Maybe 100? We'll see. The amazing part about the ballots that have come in so far is, over 100 channels have received at least one vote. And that's such a cool part about this. So, and kind of the whole point of it is there's 103 channels that have been mentioned by someone else. And there's two ends of that spectrum. Number one, if you're an observer, a watcher of channels, and by the way, if we all make content also, we're also watchers of channels. We typically will watch other channels. And so as you're watching these response videos, you may be learning about new channels. And how cool is that? The second part is if you're one of the channels that's receiving votes. There is few compliments that someone can give you on your channel than to name you as one of the coolest channels they think that's out there. I mean, if they think your stuff is awesome and worthy of Hall of Fame vote Hall of Fame nomination. That's pretty special, and it's something that makes you proud, and it should. You should be proud if somebody thinks you're awesome. And those guys that only get a few votes or whatever, at least somebody thought you were just awesome, and that is empowering and hopefully encouraging. Another, a couple of things that I've been watching as I watch some of the reaction videos, which I should not probably be watching. I get that, but I have no dog in the fight. People think I want certain people to get in or certain types of channels to get in or any of that stuff, and honestly, I could care less. If Joe Schmo gets enough votes, they're getting in. Whether I watch their channel or know them or like them or any of that stuff, all of that is completely irrelevant. I'm simply counting the votes. You guys are voting for whoever you want to, assuming they've done sports card related content for a year. That's it. Some people think that's too short. No matter how I would set this up, I would receive some type of pushback. There is no perfect way to do this. And so it is what it is. I mean, you guys it's funny how I'm just trying to make something that is for the community. And I have my criteria that I used for my ballot because I've already put my ballot out. And you guys are going to have your own criteria, things that you think are important and worthy of Hall of Fame nomination and voting for different channels. Vote for whoever you want to in terms of that and put it out there. And if you think a channel is not receiving enough attention or garnering enough votes, then make a case, advocate for them. If a certain area of the hobby is being ignored, and then you're the ones that can change it. Go out there and change it. You get to vote. You get to say. You get to talk to people. So here's where we are right now after 29 ballots. And I don't know, let me look here. It's an insane number. 249 votes have already been cast total on those 29 ballots. So if voting ended today, and by the way, it ends January 31st, so you still got 13 days, almost 2 weeks, then here's where we would be if voting ended today. I guess top 11, because we got some ties, would be Blue Jacket 66, Bob Lewis, She Blinded Me with Refractors, Filmington, A League of Their Own, B. Roth 6, Nuff Said Cards, Vintage Card Curator, Dustin and Blake, Scotty Tradition, and Triple Crown 24. Speaking of Triple Crown 24, easily the best video so far in terms of his ballot. He put it up last night. There's a link to it in the original video announcing the Hall of Fame. You can go check it out. It is epic. It is really fantastic and very creative. And I thought it was very well done. So certainly the best one I've seen so far. And I've watched all of them. I'm not watching a whole lot of other videos because I've been watching so much Hall of Fame stuff and then watching them slowly or pausing it a lot and having to put the votes in on the spreadsheet, all that kind of fun stuff. So I haven't been watching a whole lot of other YouTube content, which is kind of sad, but that's just what comes with this, the nature of this process. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Right on the outside looking in, I mean, it's really tight, by the way. The voting is incredibly tight. Within 2 votes of being in right now, so 2 votes, you've got Bink Scott, It Cometh an Egg. Excuse me. It Cometh an Egg. Just looking at some voting right now. Psyched On Baseball Cards, Tony, Amish Dave Archer, Bart the PSA card guy, Jabs Family, Purple GT 22, Winsel 8888. So again, it's anybody's game right now. It's still really early. I expect to see a whole lot of votes probably this weekend just because people have been working this week and finally might get time this weekend to start putting up some ballots. So I expect them to come in pretty fast and furious over the next few days, and then we'll kind of keep tallying them up and watching them. And I hope you're enjoying watching all the videos and seeing what people's opinions are on who should be in and who shouldn't. I love watching the videos where people talk about the channels and explain why they're voting for certain people, because it's you like to hear, if you're on the receiving end of that, you certainly like to hear people heap praise on something you work really hard at, which is putting out videos. So there we go, guys. That's it for this morning. I'm going to go play a little golf in the soggy, sloppy weather that we've been having here in the last couple days in North Texas. Catch you guys soon. Keep collecting.